Hey guys, East North WX along with
Clay Ranger 143.
Clay Ranger 143 here as well. We've got over here, we are reviewing this sucker right here. This little thin piece of paper known as the Gorman-Redlich CAP-DEC-1.
Wait. Did you just say Gorman-Redlich?
Yes.
It's Redlich!
Potato,
You
potato.
dingus! It's Gorman-Redlich!
You can't pronounce Nevada right, shut the fuck up.
Fuck off, Nevada, head-ass, Nevada!
Anyways, so we're going to be reviewing this son of a bitch right here, as what you can see.
It's Gorman-Redlich!
Keep that shit up and grab a flip-flop and smack you.
Okay.
Alright,
in this episode of Radio Reviews, we're going to take a look at this fucking thing. The Gorman-Redlich...
Redlich, I'm just kidding.
Redlich! The Gorman-Redlich CAP-DEC-1. Yes.
The CAP-DEC-1.
Okay, so enough fucking around.
We're gonna get right here. Let's just take a look at this. This is its configuration software. This is the actual CAP-DEC itself.
Yeah,
It is literally a mini computer.
it's a Windows 7 machine.
It is a Windows 7 machine for the older variants, and the newer variants use Windows 10.
Windows 10 on these pieces of shit?
Yeah, it doesn't even run 7 very well. Okay, imagine how it's gonna run 10. So, that's the first thing we're gonna get into is the performance.
Okay, the performance on the Gorman-Redlich CAP-DEC-1. It's fucking terrible.
It is.
It's terrible! Because, first off, I'm gonna use this one over here that doesn't work as an example. First culprit. Intel Atom inside.
Yeah.
The Intel Atoms are the fucking worst excuses of Intel processors you can have in a fucking computer.
Yep.
And since this one is for parts that are not working, I don't give a shit about it. But, nevertheless, Intel Atom inside. 1 gig of RAM stock from the factory. Although his is upgraded to 2 gigabytes of RAM.
I put 2 in here. I literally took the RAM out of that one because it doesn't even work. I took the RAM out of it and was like, oh, I'm just going to plop it in here. So I've got 2 gigs in this one. This thing only has 2 RAM slots as well. Here, actually, if you want to, you can open that up. Open it up with a screwdriver.
Give me the screwdriver.
While you open that up, so we can take a look inside. Let me find it. Where the fuck it went.
A look inside.
Here it is. Here's the screwdriver. So, while he's doing that, we're going to take a look right here at the software for this thing. As you can see here, not much. There's not much to it at all, really. As you can see, by default, it has the iPause, obviously. You can select the state, but for some reason, mine is broken, it doesn't even do that. But as you can see here, this thing is a piece of shit. There is TTS.
Genius to figure that out now, did it?
Yeah. The TTS you can use for this. The cool thing about it being Windows is that you can use pretty much any TTS you want. I've seen people use AT&T mic on here, which is their equivalent of the NWS Craig voice. I actually do use this voice on this computer, or on this CAP-DEC, but here's the thing. I have a different software installed thanks to a friend of mine who made it for me, and I use that to pull cap. Now another feature we're going to get into about this is, well, basically there is no features. I don't even know why I said that. There is none. There's literally barely anything to it. This is the verification part. It verifies whether it has CAP 1.2, yes. If it's got the iPause on it, yes. If it's expired, yes. If it is expired, fuck it. If it isn't expired, let's go to here. If it's in the listening area, good. If it's not, fuck it. But here's the main one right here that fucks it up all. The XMLD SIG.
I got the piece of shit apart.
Alright. So he's got the thing apart, and we're going to take a look at it right here. Yeah.
Look at this disgrace.
Yep.
This is what is running inside the CAPDEC-1.
Yep.
It just makes it go.
Yep. And as you can see here, most is not, a lot of space is even taken up. So they could have really put more into this.
And here's the hard drive for it. It's
Yep.
literally a regular laptop hard drive. It's a Western Digital Scorpio Blue.
Is it SSD or
No,
HDD?
it's a hard disk drive.
Yeah, so it's HDD, and I love how it says it's fragile. Michael's been beating the shit up out of it. And yeah, don't break that one at least. I kind of might have to use that in the future. That could be a useful feature for me as an external. But yes, right here is the insides of it. And I forgot to show off the back of it, since we have the ability to do that. This is the back of it. It has a mouse and keyboard PS2 hookups. I mean, I think the digital alert system has that as well. It has a serial port, which I don't even know what that's for. I don't think it outputs logs.
Here, let me see it.
I don't even think it outputs a log with it. Good job.
Serial port,
It's got a VGA port.
obviously for the display. 4 USB ports, an Ethernet connector.
Which, by the way, the Ethernet connector on that's actually broken, which is why it is broken. It still boots up and everything, just the Ethernet port doesn't work.
Wi-Fi.
How do I get Wi-Fi on there?
Can you just get a Wi-Fi adapter, USB Wi-Fi stick?
I tried that, didn't work. You have to get the driver's port, and you can't get drivers if it's not connected to internet.
Right. Audio in, audio out, microphone in, alert audio. This is the adapter slot.
Yep. And by the way, if it helps to notice as well, this thing does come with two. It comes with two microphone ins. So you have the audio in, then a mic in. So then you have the audio out. So you have two microphones and one. You have two microphones technically and one out, one speaker.
And here you have this one on the side here.
That's the fan.
That's the fan, and then you have another serial port on the side here, which,
Yep.
by the way, I don't fucking know why they added it there.
Yep.
You also have a USB port on the front.
Yep, and you have this, which you would think is the fan, but that's just a coolant thing, I'm pretty sure.
That's an air vent.
Yep, it's an air vent. So it's not even, you think it would be a speaker, but no. So, that's that. This is going to be a very negative review on this, that's for sure. As you see right here, the XMLD SIG, as I was talking about here, that's for the XML digital signature. This thing will only accept it if it's a literal signature that was digitally signed by iPause itself. Which, not even most CAP alerts are signed by iPause. So, if you want to get a CAP alert, you're not going to be getting in luck for this very well. And it doesn't help that this is locked to 32 counties. Sorry, let me correct that. 31 counties in one state. And this is not like the digital ENDEC where if you put the state, it'll cover the state and its counties. No, if you put the state, it's just all of state. So that
What?
Yeah, so you only get 31 counties plus the state in it, at most. Or you could just do all states, but then again, you'll only get the state for it. So if, say, Blue Earth decided to do another test, which they've already done while you were outside, then there's a Hawaii alert. But if that was pulled, it would have gone through. But if, say, Oahu, Hawaii was under an alert, it wouldn't come through. So basically, that's another mark. This is a local locked, just like the Easy and just like the TFT, but at least with TFT, you have the option to manually relay things that are not within the automatic forwarding. So, now we're going to get to the build quality.
Already?
Well, I mean, what else is there to review? The software just got reviewed and there's nothing to it.
Okay.
We just looked at the innards, there's nothing in it.
This thing really is bland as shit, isn't it?
I told you this review wouldn't last no longer than probably 30-40 minutes. And like I said, now we're going to get to the build quality. So the build quality of the Gorman-Redlich CAP-DEC-1. I'd say it's pretty decent considering how this dumbass over here keeps kicking this one over here and it still works. And beating it up to death. So I'd say it works pretty well for build quality. But in its looks itself, nah, it doesn't look very good. A lot of things that bother me with this is, like I said, you'd expect this to be a speaker. It's not. It's an air vent. You'd think the air vent, the actual fan would be on the back of it pointing away from everything, because if this was in an actual rack, it wouldn't be the best for it. No, it's on the side. Not the very best if you're putting this in a rack. And the fact is of the matter, it's very weakly built. Especially with the performance. We didn't mention this earlier with the performance, but we already said that it was a Intel Atom and had only 1 gig of RAM. That can only run this on its own. This is not including that. I have a software up here that does the CAPDEC stuff for me, that does national stuff instead of this 31 county plus state shit. And it is so slow. It takes 8 seconds for the TTS audio for it to be generated. 6 seconds, or 6 to 8 seconds. Very, very shit. So, with that being said, I'd say the build quality on this is probably a B. What do you think?
Yeah, in between, really. I mean, there's not really that much to discuss with it. It's really just one of those bland CAPDEC things. It's literally... Okay, you know what it is?
What is it?
You know what it is? A paperweight.
Basically,
and
yeah.
This is the world's widest paperweight. E-ink paperweight family. It effectively replaces the Kindle Paperwhite. No. But this is a paperweight, this thing is. I mean, I'm sure that somewhere out there might be some use for this. But over here, you can't get shit.
Yeah. Now, here's another thing I will mention about this as well. And I thank you for bringing this up as well. The weight of this thing is actually the lightest ENDEC you can get.
It is.
It's like 4 pounds, I believe. 3 to 4 pounds.
It's literally a microcomputer. This shit is what you would expect to run it with Windows embedded.
Yeah, you'd expect if you saw this in a rack, if it wasn't for the labels, you'd think this was probably a Windows Server computer.
Also, yeah, no speaker.
No speaker.
You gotta connect your own.
Yep. This thing is, and the thing about this, we keep calling this an ENDEC, but in actuality, this is what as they call it a CAP to EAS converter, also known as...
You got updates on this motherfucker?
And what do you mean? Oh yeah, I do. I won't worry about it now though. But basically, there's not a lot to it. I actually added a lot of stuff up here myself to give it more functionality. But here's the thing. Like I was saying before, this unit is meant to be an intermediary, as they call it. It's called an intermediary EAS to CAP unit. Basically meaning it's meant to be the CAP holding part that you can hook up to something like this. You can hook it up to a Sage EAS, you can hook it up to a non-CAPDEC unit, which in general, on paper, that's a brilliant idea. You don't have to go buy a $3,000 CAPDEC like the Digital Alert Systems or the Sage Digital. No, the digital or digital DASDEC
or the Sage Digital. And by the way, just an extra note, just to give you a fucking idea as to how weak the performance is. This is something that was included with Windows 7 and Vista back in the day, and maybe even Windows 8, I'm not sure. This is basically the Windows Experience Index.
Yep.
And once this rating is done, I fucking highly doubt that it's 3, first of all. So, I'm just gonna rerun the fucking assessment.
Yep. But before while I was waiting to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. Like I said, the idea for an intermediary device is good, if it's made right.
But this wasn't made that good.
This isn't made that good at all, yeah. I literally had my friend and I, AST Christopher, I'll give him a shout out on this video. AST Christopher, shout out to making the AlertNet 3P, which stands for third party. It is a software that he made for me that does not only national iPods cap, but national weather cap. This station is meant to be this is going to be, when I finish it, a nationwide iPods and weather alert station. I'm trying to basically make this the equivalent of a nationwide NOAA weather radio station. It will have the programming as well to have like included like, oh yeah, like forecast and all that stuff. It will have that included. I technically already have that on it, but I'm gonna modify it more in the future. Because yay, coding for the win. But basically, this thing is actually like gonna be, this is meant to be an intermediary for another unit that is not CAP compliant. So it would work with the Sage EAS, it would work with the Easy IP, the CAS, the Plus, it would work with the Burke if you're dumb enough to buy one of those. Yeah. It would work with that. It would work with a TFT. It would work with any unit that isn't natively meant to poll IPAWS or cannot poll IPAWS in general. So, this was actually a good idea on paper. I don't know of any other units that does the intermediary stuff like that. Everything else is usually just a CAP, like a CAP ENDEC. Like those two. And even Easy Cap. But this is the only ones I know of that is an intermediary. So, I will give them props for ingenuity there. They actually did make a unit that is specifically made to keep these in service. But they did a muck of it. As you can see there, the rating was supposed to last a few minutes and it's taking forever. So, yeah, it already tells you how bad it is. And so, yeah. Also, you're seeing this a lot here, this Whistler. Oh, yeah, you'll see this in another video later on. And we'll also be doing a review on this Easy IP down here as well. That's gonna be fun. He's literally gonna be leaving tomorrow, and he's been here for 6 days now.
Yeah.
We keep forgetting to do these videos and putting it off because this guy here can't maintain being awake.
Because you take too long.
I take too long. We were gone somewhere yesterday, the day before we had a party. Ugh. Huh.
That's not what I was trying to hint at, but...
Well, still your anyways, getting back to this, says the man. Exactly. So, getting back to this here again, the build quality on this, I'd say, is definitely B or A. Probably close to a B, honestly, because...
It's in between, really. 50-50.
Yeah, it's pretty, I think I agree with that. I mean, it's good with, like I said, Michael tearing it out the bits with him beating it up every 5 seconds like an abusive stepdad. And then over here, at the same time, I love how he just changed when I said that. It's great. But at the same time, the quality of the actual build is horrible. So it's good for sturdiness. Not so much for the actual build, however.
And this ain't so good either.
Oh, yeah. Actually, no, that is good. That and a CAPDEC's good, because you know why? The edges of it will just cut your damn skin when you try to hit it. He would know. The first day he got here, he cut his damn self on the CAPDEC. And not even this one, the broken one. The first day this guy got here, he literally lost his own damn skin to a CAPDEC.
Yep.
So that's where I'd also give it the fault as well. The Sage EAS is it's not sharp, but it's definitely not something you want to bump your arm into at high speeds. Same with the Trilith. Actually, Trilithic's not good. Trilithic's the same thing. That's gonna be something I'll put on the next video. But the Gorman, I'm telling you, it's like they cut these things on purpose to be sharp, so if you hit it from anger, you cut yourself instead. Anyway, now it's assessing the CPU performance. It's taking a while still. So, yeah, and you keep polluting my room over here. You just hit my antenna. If that had damaged the antenna in any way, I'd bend you the same way I bent my WR300s up there. But yeah, actually I do need to hold on to that because I am selling that to somebody else for parts because they said they want it.
I know.
Yep, actually that as parts. Yeah. Oh, that's great. But yeah, and this was the weather that this... Yep. This was the weather that this bro was driving in a few minutes ago. He didn't hear it, but he just went... Yeah, he's still doing it. You good there, Michael? I'm gonna take that as a no. Anyways, while he's in there regurgitating, we will go back in here for a second to check if this is... He's still going at it. I feel bad for that man. But, oh, there he is. Are you okay, sir? I think you had to go get a drink. But yes. Welcome to Radio Reviews, where basically Michael runs out of vomits for a little bit. This is why I got the camera. And plus, I'm also ENDEC person, so yeah. But basically, getting back to this, build quality, definitely a B. It's built well. I mean, it's sturdy. But just the actual build quality of it, the quality of the build is gross. It's, like I said, this is even a power button, by the way. You can't even turn this off and on without unplugging and replugging, which I've always never liked doing on PCs. I only like doing that for a hard restart.
What did I miss?
We were talking about how this is that there's no power button on this.
No power button.
Yep.
Perfect.
This is what happens when you mention a word around them, I suppose. By the way, this video is totally not sponsored by Bass Pro Shops, totally. But yeah.
Cabela's.
Or Cabela's, yeah. And yes, now he's alive again. And I wish I could get over a hangover that quickly.
Or Goodyear, or Automotive's Insurance, or Sports Clips Haircuts.
Yep.
Perhaps not even by Interstate Batteries, Siemens.
Haha, Siemens. Anyways, now here's the performance.
Okay, that is not a 3.
So, actually no, here's the reason why it is a 3. Michael. So according to this, the graphics on this as well as the processor are poopy. 3s. Even the graphics and all that stuff, it is a solid 3. But the reason this thing is a bit higher as well is because of the memory and the hard disk. Hard disk isn't too bad. The actual disk itself is not slow. It's only slow because the processor can't calculate it quick enough. And the graphics, yeah, they're poo-poo. This is just integrated graphics, I'm pretty sure. So yes, this is apparently a score, but I'd say, and to be fair, this is a score of a 3 out of 7.9. So obviously this is gonna be poopy. Anyways, 3 out of 7.9 is not exactly a good score for a test if you're trying to get that in high school or college, that's for damn sure. But like I said, build quality, yeah. But I would get to the speaker quality if it had one. It doesn't have one. So you can't do the speaker qualities. So obviously that's the nil for this episode. And this is going to be factored into its score later on, trust me. I'm just going to tell you this now. The score will not be very pleasant. And as you can see, like I said, power button. You can't restart it like that. You have to go back there and unplug it and replug it, which, like I mentioned before, I don't like doing. Because I always figure that's always like a thing you do for a hard restart if the computer's having issues. I feel like you do that too much, it probably might cause issues. So I don't like doing it, but you have to for this. Or you can go in here and shut it down, and then it won't come back on. Then you have to unplug it and replug it again anyways. So there you go. Like I said, that's a negative mark for it. Hey Michael, what other things should we cover for this ENDEC?
What is there to cover, really?
Yeah, honestly, we've already done its performance, not the best. We've already done the build quality, not the best. So I think, honestly, it's time to get to the final thoughts, don't you think?
I agree.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, so the final thoughts on the Gorman-Redlich CAP-DEC-1. I just want to hear what your opinion on this is first before I even say mine.
What the fuck were they thinking when they made this underpowered piece of fucking dog shit that doesn't even have a fucking power button, no speaker, no motherfucking goddamn whatever it has, no good performance, no fucking support anymore because it's Windows fucking 7.
Yep.
And to think, they still make these just with shittier versions of Windows 10. The performance is gay.
Yep.
It's bad.
And
it's really, really, really bad.
And going back to what I mentioned earlier about iPods and stuff, so to have that XMLD signature, that means you can't use custom cap servers on it either. So the only way you can test this actually works, the actual polling works, is to wait till Monday. Or it used to, well, that was usually what you would do, but I've cheated it and decided to go, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for the iPause or the New Hampshire DMOs. They are daily. They're not as consistent, but they are daily. So obviously, that's probably the better thing you could do. And then when I did test that out, it didn't even activate the Sage. And it's not because the Sage's fault. Sages are very good for decoding. It's the dumb CAPDEC.
Daggum CAPDEC.
Yep, basically. So honestly, I think this is probably gonna be a first on your series as well. I think this unit right here, fucking B. I don't even know what the lowest score you take is.
There's the rank L, which is the lowest, low to high. Rank L, bad, 50-50, good, S rank.
Alright. So in that case, I hate to say it, but it takes a damned L.
Does it now?
It takes a damned L. It doesn't have much features for testing it, otherwise you just have to rely on iPause to do it for you. And when I actually contacted them about upgrading this unit, because this unit was not actually compliant at first. By the way, it cost $250 to get this upgraded, by the way. Yes, it costed $250 to upgrade this to the newest version where it could actually use cap, because beforehand it couldn't. Because this was a unit that was last updated in 2011, and it was made, I believe, in 2000. I want to say 2009? I think, yeah, 2009. So, with that being said, this ENDEC definitely isn't that good. Sorry, not CAPDEC, sorry, not ENDEC. CAPDEC is definitely not good, because there's no encoder qualities to this at all. It just decodes it and sends it out as an audio alert into another unit, which, like I said, this is actually a pretty ingenious idea, but they put the wrong people in charge of it. I love Gorman-Redlich. Their support was very helpful to me when I got my EAS one. Not so much so with the CAPDEC one, though, I will admit. Their services with that was not the best. But that being said, this unit is definitely not very good with the build quality. The quality itself of the build is very shit, as you can see. Very bland. Like the EAS, like right there, that tells you when you get alerts coming in. This will tell you when you got alerts coming in. That one won't. The CAPDEC one won't. The power button is the only LED that tells you anything, and that just tells you the power's on. So, I think, like I said, in my professional opinion of using ENDEC, this definitely takes the fucking L. And I think Michael agrees with me now that I just mentioned that, whenever he comes back. Hey, Michael! Are you gonna come back, boyo? I think he's too busy still regurgitating or dying from the fucking 250 again. But yeah, and here's the thing. When I did actually, oh, Michael's gonna get a kick out of this. Hey, Michael, you're gonna love this story about how I had to upgrade it with that. So the upgrading of this to the newest version that they had, the firmware of the application.
Oh no.
So. I was told just update Windows 7 to the newest version they have. I mean, that sounds pretty simple, right? Except that Windows 7's not fucking updated anymore and is not supported. So the only way you could do it is by manually installing updates. It took me the better half of an entire day to upgrade all of it, and there's still updates that need to be installed on it, as you can see.
Just one.
Well, yeah, but still had to install updates on it.
I want to see how it installs it.
How it what?
Since there's one update, I want to see. Oh god, this is gonna kill it.
Probably. But here's the thing about it. So I upgraded that. They told me to do all that stuff, and then I told them, like, can't we just go to Windows 10? I know that y'all have that. They're like, no, we don't do Windows 10 on that. It's Windows 7. So I was like, so I have to install all these updates for Windows 7 when you could just give me a Windows 10 key and I could easily do it.
Not just that, but it would run terribly.
No, actually, it probably would have ran better.
No, it wouldn't.
Optimization.
No.
It would have been a little more optimized.
Wrong. Intel Atoms and Windows 10 do not go together well.
Yeah, that's true. So they kept me on Windows 7, and not only that, they shoddily installed that software. And yeah, and then I find out, and then I call them. I was like, by the way, how do I add custom support for CAP servers? They're like, you just do it. And I was like, oh, simple, isn't it? Wrong. I tried doing it, and then the XML DSig got in the way. I asked them about it, and I shit you not when I say this. On the call, the guy said, I would help you right now, but I'm too busy doing my taxes.
Really?
Really?
Really, Gorman-Redlich?
Yeah, they were like, we gotta do our taxes and just don't call back for a few days. And I was like, God motherfucking damn.
So you still haven't fixed that?
No, I never did. So I gave up on it, and I was like, you know what, make a new software. Or gonna get new software, because I got it from my friend AST. Thankfully, he made some for me, and I didn't have to rely on another program's ENDEC or CAPDEC stuff. I didn't have to rely on that, thankfully, because I trust AST a lot more. But besides that point, definitely an L. This is probably the first L he's actually had to put on this thing here. Probably the first L he's had to put on the series, possibly.
No.
I didn't figure. I figured. What was the first L?
The Jensen MR600.
Is that the only one, or is there more? I imagine. Any index I have, or any radios I have that are L's? I'm just curious. I'll let him look around a little bit and figure that out. But in the meantime, I think
no.
Awesome. But like I said, this is the first ENDEC in his series that takes the L. And I'm pretty sure if he ever reviews a Burke, it won't be the last. But he won't be reviewing it at my house. He won't be reviewing it at my house, because guess what? I'm not dumb enough to own a Burke.
Fuck the Burke.
Exactly.
Fuck
So,
the fucking Burke.
exactly. And you know what Burke means in Britain, right? Idiot.
Oh, Drew has a Burke encoder. I feel bad. He doesn't use it, but goddamn, I feel terrible for him. He actually owns a Burke. And it doesn't work.
Yeah,
No,
you wonder.
It works, but it's terrible.
Oh, it might be a fucking Burke at that. Here's my motto. You're a Burke if you own a Burke. There you go. So, with that being said, sorry, Drew. Tough love.
Gay!
Says the bisexual one.
Still gay!
Who said it was on the cheek platonically? It's moments like this that I want to throw this camcorder at Michael.
Are you in charge here?
But yes, anyways, I think that concludes this, basically. There's nothing else to add on to it. It's a piece of junk, not much to it. If we were to review an easy cap, it would probably do only slightly better. But yes, with that being said, this is East Norcar WX signing off with...
This dickhead.
Yeah.
Ranger 143.